Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hekate Media 2022. I hope all of you had a fabulous New Year celebration, and I hope you started the year off well. If you didn't, well, there's still a lot of time left for you to do that. We have 11 months left, and it looks like January is about to end very quickly. That's very strange, actually, because this is usually the longest month of the year. But anywho, this video is going to be about how we would have handled the DCEU, as fans like to call it, but its official name is the Worlds of DC. Fun fact. Before I get into that, obviously, I just have to say that the way the universe has been handled so far is less than good. They're trying every once in a while. They give us something good that we like, that we've been expecting, that we asked for. But the vast majority of projects that they're making aren't really things that we ask for. They end up doing well with critics. They also make money, but they're not exactly what we're looking for. I mean, sure, it's not really a good thing to compare to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but if you look at world building and establishing a shared universe, the only real way for you to do it is the way Marvel did it. Otherwise, you'll have a universe where you start off with one thing and then you want to cram in half of your biggest characters in the next one, and then you start making prequels, and then you make a rushed movie, and then you go on to the ensemble one and then cancel everything else that was supposed to come after that, and you just start making whatever you feel like at the moment because your rival studio is doing it, except for The Flash, of course, which was always meant to be a multiverse movie, which was also pretty rushed, and it was the original idea. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that, but if that's the way they wanted to do, then I can't really say anything apart from that's not how I would have done it. So, for this one, we're going to do how I would have done Caped Crusader, aka Batman. See, the universe started off with telling the origin story of Superman, the story that a lot of us know, and it was updated and made to be a little more grounded and realistic. It was a good take, aside from a few minor issues that I had with it, like Lois finding out who Superman is before he's even Superman, and the death of Pa Kent, and, well, this. Yeah, those weren't really good, but I understand that last one at least. The idea was to traumatize him so bad that he would never end up killing again. The only thing is, we have his first appearance in Batman vs. Superman, and he does this. Now, some people say that Zack Snyder said that he survived that, but that's not the impression I got. I mean, yeah. Right. So, in lieu of what they had planned, I'm going to make a DC Cinematic Universe in which we follow kind of the same direction. We just have a lot more stops along the way, and we build the world a little better. Now, the movie to follow, Man of Steel, would have obviously been a Batman movie, which in this case would be called The Caped Crusader, because Batman has been used, Batman Begins has been used, The Dark Knight has been used, so obviously we have to go for something a little fresh, and we could call it The Caped Crusader. This wouldn't be a retelling of the origin story. In fact, it wouldn't tell the origin story at all. This movie would be focused more on Batman fighting crime, and it's been many years since he started. And we would have Robin in it. We'd have Penguin, Joker, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot. Those would be the characters in the movie. There would obviously be other supporting characters, but these are the main ones. Don't worry about the abundance of characters. I knew how to handle them in the story. Hopefully, you will like it. Either way, the Robin that's in the story would be Jason Todd, not Dick Grayson. So, with that out of the way, then let's get right down to it. Just remember, this is based on a DCEU and based on a movie that would have come out after Man of Steel, circa 2014-2015. So, let's open the movie with a shipment of weapons being brought into Gotham, which in this case is not next to Metropolis, but in the state of New York, just like it is in the comics. Thank you very much. The shipment is attacked by the Joker, played by Jared Leto, and Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. They don't steal the shipment, they blow it up instead. Batman appears on scene as Joker is getting away in his car with Harley. Batman chases Joker with Robin in the Batmobile. We also get a view of Joker's toxic relationship with Harley as he uses her as cover whenever things get dangerous and tells her to expose herself to shoot at Batman. Robin loses his patience and rushes to confront Joker during the climax of the chase, and it messes everything up. Batman, played by Scott Adkins, not Ben Affleck, yells at Robin, who is revealed to be Jason Todd, played by Asa Butterfield, for letting the Joker escape. It's revealed that the shipment was ordered by Penguin, played by Alfred Molina. He's furious because this is the third shipment in a month that Joker messed up. Penguin declares that the Joker has made his last joke and decides to call up a professional who has never failed him before. Cut to Joker and Harley having a laugh together. They're laughing about the situation that just unfolded. They're in the Joker's club, and Joker has his own VIP room. He then tells Harley to go be a performer, while he calls Penguin to make fun of him for not being able to stop him from destroying his shipments. Penguin then decides to not just get any professional killer, but the best there is in the business. Bruce Wayne and Jason Todd argue in the Wayne Mansion, and Alfred, played by Jeremy Irons, takes notice. Jason storms off after Bruce scolds him, and Alfred tries to talk to Bruce. Alfred tells Bruce that his rage feeds Jason's recklessness. Bruce dismisses it and goes away. The next day, Jason is driven to school by Alfred, and we see a bit of Jason's life in school. He's the outcast that people try to mess with, and he always lets his anger get the best of him, and he always ends up fighting. That's a reputation he has, so this day he goes to school and is calm, trying to be calm, especially around a girl who clearly likes him. Bruce is shown in a board meeting, where they talk about the prospects of expansion. Someone suggests buying the Daily Planet, but the idea is dismissed. Lucius Fox talks about a decline in warehouse stocks. Imports are not coming in and things within the warehouses are going missing. It's heavily implied that Lucius Fox knows that Bruce is Batman. Bruce acknowledges what is happening and says that they'll get the GCPD in on it. Lucius says that it may not be enough to bring the police in on it, but they would need extra help. Bruce then smiles and walks away. Cut to the GCPD and show Gordon in his office, doing paperwork. Gordon, played by J.K. Simmons, is already looking into the Joker cases. He discusses the issues with Harvey Bullock. They find that the Joker has been targeting Penguin's shipments but doesn't steal anything. He sets them ablaze or throws them into the river. He's been doing this for a few months now. Bullock insists that they kill Joker before Penguin loses his temper. Gordon remains strong in his position, maintaining that the law can be upheld without killing anyone. Cut back to the school and show Jason ignoring the principal's son as he messes with him. He eventually calls Jason an orphan, and Jason loses it. He gets into trouble and Alfred comes to get him after being called by the principal. Alfred tells Jason that he understands, and that Bruce went through the same thing at his age, only without the advantage of martial arts training, and it got so bad that he ended up being homeschooled. Jason remarks, no wonder he's so great with people. Bruce gets to the warehouses and questions the guards about the thefts, and it seems that a lot of things have been stolen and it's been happening for a few months. When he asks why this hasn't been reported to the police or to him, people there say that they thought it always had been, that the cops, much less Bruce himself, didn't care enough to do anything about it. Bruce then calls Alfred in his car, telling him to get blueprints and schematics of the warehouses so that they can study them. Bruce won't hear Jason out, the way Alfred did, and Jason storms off. He steals one of Bruce's motorbikes along with the Robin costume and heads out into the city. Alfred tells Bruce to let Jason cool off. Bruce lets him cool off and goes to the Batcave to study the schematics and blueprints. Batman gets to the warehouse that's being robbed. He then goes to the thugs and beats them up before different ones in clown costumes show up to kill the first batch. Batman fights all of them off, beating both parties and preventing deaths as much as he could. He even refrains from properly trapping a thug to save another from being shot, and they both get away. Batman then chases them, and as the chase goes on, he becomes increasingly aggressive and loses his temper so much that he causes the thug car to topple over many times before working to stop it before it could kill anyone, if it hadn't already. The thugs are in too rough of a shape to be interrogated, and the others escape when he tried to stop these ones. Joker laughs maniacally at all the dead people around him. He then hears the police arriving and runs away with Harley. He receives a call while on the run from his thugs. They tell him that he was right about Penguin and warehouses, but Batman stopped him from doing the deed. Joker doesn't mind the favor. Harley makes a bad turn because she laughs along with Joker and he insults her for it. She apologizes and they continue. Joker calls Penguin once more to make fun of him, but Penguin is calmer than usual and lets Joker have his laugh. He then cuts the line, leaving Joker confused for a few seconds before he continues laughing. While on the way home, Alfred calls Batman about the shootout at the club. Batman goes there and meets Gordon, who's with Bullock. Gordon reveals that the club was owned by the Joker, not Jack Napier. Batman looks around and finds a Batarang and concludes that Robin was there. Gordon tells Batman that the thugs have been identified as Penguin's goons. Batman concludes that Penguin is striking back at Joker for the interference with the shipments. Batman goes back to the Batcave and Alfred tends to his wounds. After he's stitched up, Batman goes to Jason and interrogates him about why he went to fight alone. But once again, he doesn't really hear Jason out until Alfred tries to step in and Bruce yells at him. Jason yells louder still. He lectures Bruce about being unyielding and inflexible. After a fierce verbal exchange, Bruce realizes how strained the relationship has become and tries to talk nicely with Jason, who goes to his room. Alfred walks away as well and Bruce is left alone in the living room. He goes to the Batcave to do some investigating on the crime scene. During that time, he has a flashback detailing how he officially adopted Jason Todd as his ward, and how happy Jason was. The next day in school, Jason meets the principal's son again and tries to be patient with him. Everyone notices that the principal's son is getting at him and they all just watch. The principal's son calls him a son of a bitch and goes on to continuously insult his mother. Jason tries his best not to do anything and avoids doing so for the first time. He walks away. The girl who clearly likes him tries to comfort him after, and he yells at her. She walks away a few steps before he stops her and apologizes. She notices that his black hair dye is fading, revealing his red hair. He tells her that he dyed his hair black to match his older brother's, and that his hair is actually red. He said that he wanted his dad to look at him the same way he did his older brother. The girl invites him to a party that night and he accepts without a second thought. Deadshot gets to the Penguin Ice Lounge and Penguin tells him to kill Joker only after telling him who ordered the hit on him and to make sure it was slow and painful. Deadshot sets out to complete his mission. Bruce, in his office, is reminded of a charity ball he had not RSVP'd. He accepts it and leaves work early, as he can't really concentrate due to all the stress. Jason sneaks out that night after he sees Bruce going out and telling him to stay inside. Bruce goes to the ball, gets a girl, gets laid. Jason goes to the party, hangs out with different people, meets the girl, hooks up with her while they're both tipsy, and the night is ruined by the principal's son. In an altercation, the principal's son ends up dying electrocuted and everyone panics. It looks as though Jason killed him, but he tripped over a cord and got electrocuted. The only one who believes him is the girl, but she doesn't speak up when the police ask, and it's televised. Alfred calls Bruce, and Bruce then races to the scene. Bruce gets there, talks to the police, but they insist on taking Jason and the others in. Joker watches the televised event with Jason's name and face shown. Deadshot breaks into the hideout to kill him. There's a skirmish and Deadshot easily hurls Harley aside. Joker makes his escape. Before Deadshot pursues, Harley attacks him. They fight one-on-one and she has the upper hand until he gets fed up. He knocks her down and out and goes out to pursue the Joker. They get to the streets and there are police sirens. Joker gets the crowds and Deadshot gets to the Joker. Batman shows up and fights off Deadshot while trying to catch the Joker. Robin shows up as well and chases Joker while Batman fights Deadshot. Batman dodges Deadshot's projectile, making him miss for the first time. Robin fights Joker and Joker entraps Robin under scaffolding. Deadshot gets away. Batman gets to Robin and panics. Robin gets out from under it with his mask off, and Joker recognizes him. Batman scolds Robin for escaping police custody, as he endangered his secret identity. Robin says that he knows how much catching Joker means to Batman. Batman and Robin follow the tracks back to Joker's apartment and find Harley there. They tie her up for the police to find her. They get to the Batcave and Batman tells Robin that the following day they would go to the police station. Deadshot gets to Penguin and explains everything. Penguin tells him that the contract is still valid. Deadshot tells Penguin that he will do Batman for free. Jason is sent to the police station the next day and Bruce promises to bribe the policeman if he goes easy on him for escaping the previous night. Jason explains everything to the police and they let him go after Bruce signs some paperwork. The ride is silent and Jason isn't angry as usual, just remorseful. Bruce has no words for him. Joker hires thugs to shoot up the Ice Lounge that night while he kills the guard of one of Bruce's warehouses. Bruce coldly tells Jason to suit up and they head out to the Ice Lounge to interrogate Penguin about Deadshot and everything. They get to the Ice Lounge and interrogate Penguin. While talking, away from the Penguin, Robin wants to open up and Bruce is open to listening. Joker's men blow up the place, interrupting Robin. Robin gets up and is dizzy. He hears his mother's voice and sees a blonde woman who calls him. He goes to her and is knocked unconscious. Batman, barely conscious, sees it happening. The thugs then drive away. Robin is the last to be dragged out. Batman rushes to the door and is kicked back in by a vengeful Deadshot. After an intense, brutal, fierce, long fight, Batman defeats Deadshot. It's one of those tense victories where Batman defeats a guy by almost killing him. He stabs Deadshot's left shoulder, but it's made to look like he stabbed him in the chest with camera angles. Then it's revealed that it was actually in the shoulder. Batman then goes after Robin, tracking the signal in his costume. Meanwhile, Joker is beating Jason with the crowbar, while revealing that he just wanted to wreak havoc and saw Penguin as a fun person to do it with. He had no plan at all. Joker tells Robin that Penguin was stealing Wayne Tech weapons from houses, the warehouses that is. Robin's world is shattered. Joker also tells him about the fake mother. She wasn't real, she was just a Harley wannabe who wasn't as durable, implying that he killed her. He's wearing a blonde wig at this point too. beats Robin to a pulp, then sprays the words "ha ha ha, the joke's on you, Batman," onto Robin's uniform. He then leaves the warehouse, and it blows up. Batman finds the corpse and sobs. Have a funeral scene with his high school peers and Alfred. Bruce is far from everyone. He's the last to leave too, and doesn't do so until very late at night when Alfred convinces him to. Bruce looks at his list of rogues gallery felons on his computer. His files on Joker, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Riddler, Man-Bat, Kite Man, Condiment King, Roman Sionis, Ra's al Ghul, Penguin, and others. Then creates a new one called Deadshot. Alfred tells him that there's nothing he should have done. Bruce doesn't listen and says that his war and crime has escalated, and villains won't rule Gotham anymore. Alfred asks what he means by that. Gordon and Bullock talk about Robin's death, and Bullock tells Gordon that they should have killed Joker before this happened, and they don't know what kind of monster Batman will become now. Batman stands on a rooftop, looking down at the streets, a darker, more deranged, more sinister look in his face than ever before. Something within him is broken. And there you have it. That's how I would have done the Caped Crusader as Batman's first movie in the DCEU. Coming up next will be Man of Steel 2. And the bad guy is going to be Parasite. We'll also have Lex Luthor in the movie. So, come up with your fan theories and your predictions about how I would have done it. And then we'll see if they match up with anything I'm going to actually put in the next video. And don't worry, I'm not going to pull a Ryan Johnson and look at all your theories and predictions and go against them for the sake of subverting expectations. Very well, I might add. I've already written down everything for this universe up until the Green Lantern movie, which would come right before the Justice League movie. So go on, try your luck. Also, please like the video. Please drop any other comment. It doesn't have to be a fan theory or anything. Please follow me on Instagram. Please like my page on Facebook. And, well, have a good day.